Going to be a long night, but in a very good way for LeBron James, who's getting the goggles ready for the champagne. Got the championship hat on as well. The t-shirts are already out. The celebration is well underway here at Oracle Arena as the Cavaliers return the favor done to them by the Warriors last year by celebrating on their home floor. Been a long wait for that team, a much longer wait for the city of Cleveland as well. LeBron James' stated desire to come back and get a championship for the land, as he calls it, has come to fruition. We are live at the finals. Great to have you with us, everybody. I'm Matt Weiner. I've got Steve Smith, Grant Hill, the Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas on hand, as well as we soak in some of this celebration, something you know very well.
Yes, I do. Just to see the elation and also the joy that players have during this moment. You know, I always get a little misty-eyed whenever I see these celebrations because you know exactly what's going on inside their body, the joy that they're feeling, and the enthusiasm that they're displaying.
I mean, it's unbelievable to win a championship, or for the Cavs to come back from 3-1. I mean, they came out, and then to have the game we had, I take my hat off to both teams, but T. Lue give him a lot of credit. He coached this one, and LeBron and Kyrie were spectacular down the end.
I couldn't agree more, Steve. Just to understand what this team has gone through and all the scrutiny, all the negativity, all the stories, all the people talking about what they couldn't do. And they figured it out themselves this year. They had a great journey. And they had some adversity here in the finals, Isaiah. But I tell you what, their stars, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Tyronn Lue, the entire team believed, and here they are now champions, bringing that championship and getting rid of that curse that's been in Cleveland for quite some time.
Cavaliers are actually fairly well represented here in the building tonight. We heard that early on with some fairly loud cheers when they would make buckets, but it's nothing like the scene in downtown Cleveland where tens of thousands have gathered. After more than a half century of hurt, it is time for release, and we turn to our resident Clevelander, Vince Cellini, who's in the middle of that celebration tonight. Hey, Vince.
Matt, I got to tell you, the celebration is on. 52 years in the making here in downtown Cleveland at the Fan Fest and the Gateway Plaza. These people are absolutely going wild. They stayed with their Cavs, and the Cavs made it happen. No more talk of what might have been. No more talk of coming up short. No more talk of getting in their own way. This is a city that has endured, and this is a city that's rewarded. It's not just that the Cavs won this game, but it's how they won it. To win 3 straight, 2 of those 3 at Oracle, one of the most difficult places to play in the NBA. To rally down 3-1 and win a Game 7. No one has ever done that. Maybe the greatest Game 7, definitely the greatest championship in rally mode. You know, guys, I grew up here about 10 minutes east. This is a good town. And these people deserve what has happened to them tonight. They've been kicked in the stomach. They've been deserted. They've come up short, and they've had things happen to them that no other team has. No fan base deserves it more than these people. I'm so happy for the Cavaliers, LeBron James, the organization, and everyone who was able to make this happen and make Cleveland a winner and bring a championship to the city. LeBron James, a promise delivered. He comes back vilified after leaving town to go to Miami, returns here, and makes good on the championship. Kyrie Irving, heroic shot to decide the game.
Nice lie.
But these folks, come on over here. This is not the real Larry O'Brien, but it's going to do until the genuine article comes right here to downtown Cleveland.
Downtown Cleveland, baby, go Cavs!
It doesn't erase all of the sins, but it makes it a lot easier. This is a city that has been cleansed in terms of sports championships. We'll be here all night because the party will be, that's for sure. Matt, back to you.
All right, Vince, hopefully you'll have some voice left when we come back to you a little later on. The fumble The shot, the blown save in the World Series may not be completely erased, but they're on the back burner for the time being because Cleveland has its championship. And they did it, as Vince said, on a promise delivered by LeBron James. You know, folks got on him about assembling his guys, putting together his roster, because that was the perception, and it came through. They've got a title.
You know, just to go back and watch LeBron James, how much pressure is to come back after you leave Cleveland. The phenomenal run he had in the finals last year without Kyrie and without Kevin Love. And then the exact same thing, you start talking about these last 3 games, Zeke and Grant Hill. You couldn't write it up any better for LeBron James and his organization. So happy for the city of Cleveland. This was a hard-fought win by them.
It was, and, you know, as we talked about, you know, LeBron James having to step up, having to do his part. Kyrie Irving did his part. You know, I thought the defense that Cleveland displayed over the last 3 out of 4 games was just outstanding. And you have to give Ty Lue, the coach, a lot of credit for coming up with a defensive game plan to really shut down Curry and Thompson, to the point where Draymond Green was their leading scorer tonight and their most effective player. You wouldn't think in a closeout game, in a Game 7 at home, Thompson and Curry would be as ineffective as they were. And you got to credit the Cleveland defense today.
And Isaiah, you know, you go back to Game 4 after Golden State had won in Cleveland, and it felt like Cleveland was done. And I think the 2 guys you mentioned, Tyronn Lue and LeBron James, and the tone they set at the press conference. Tyronn Lue talking about, we're going to go there, we're going to handle business. He was confident. You saw the team come out in Game 5. They played with confidence. LeBron James set the tone. 2 back-to-back 40-point games, ending Game 7 with a triple-double, a huge block that was just all effort, all desire, all heart. I mean, this really represents what Cleveland's all about, a blue-collar city, and they played blue-collar basketball to get this win against a very good Golden State team.
And I think when you talk about T. Lue, he had so many different decisions he had to make. Kevin Love sitting out with the concussion. Who do you start? Kevin Love coming back. He did a fantastic job, in my opinion, taking over after Coach Black. You know the pressure was to get to the championship and win it. Anything less, it would have been questioned about what T. Lue. I thought he was fantastic, what he done and his job he did. Give him a lot of credit.
Navigating Love's role was one of the toughest things he had to do during the series. Of course, he missed a game along the way with the concussion. He was ineffective at other times, frankly. Foul trouble there in Game 6. He started him tonight. Love did some positive things for them, including 14 rebounds along the way. They were plus 9 on the boards and plus 20 in the paint. And to your point about the city and the way they play, this is power basketball versus the finesse that we see out here, and power won over in this series.
Totally East Coast basketball, totally Midwest basketball in terms of Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin. We set screens, you play hard, you play defense, and then you pray that you have a guy like a LeBron James that can score buckets for you at the end of the game. And when we're talking about LeBron James, you know, we talked about earlier the people that were in that room and how they measure themselves in that room now. And I think after this performance, being down 3-1, LeBron James, in my opinion, he's up there with Jordan now in terms of the greatest player to ever play. When I look at it, you're looking at LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan. Pick either one of those 3. Those are the guys, in my opinion, right now, who deserve to be in that discussion.
You heard Vince mention it. The Cavaliers are the first ever to come back from 3-1 down and win an NBA Finals. They are just the 4th ever to win a Game 7 Finals on the road, which they accomplished here tonight in Oakland. And James recorded the 3rd ever triple-double in a Game 7 in Finals history. There's the list, guys. Jerry West, who lost that game in 1969, the only MVP from a losing team ever named. James Worthy in '88. Sorry.
That's okay. It was against the Pistons. He deserved it. He was big game James that night, for real.
And LeBron